Hello everybody and welcome to a new video for Jurassic World Evolution 2. So this one's a little bit different as we're not exactly speculating a DLC or update features for this game, and it also has been a while since I've covered it. Not since August with the Marine Species DLC. But I am covering these sort of like dinosaur fact file sort of sheets that were made by Paleo Publications, a account that I discovered when I was just scrolling through Instagram looking for some Jurassic World or Planet Zoo content, and I stumbled upon some of his work. And I thought, looking at these models, they are very similar to like the ILM renders for the dinosaurs in the films. And looking back at Jurassic World Evolution 2, some of the dinosaurs could be brought just a little bit closer to their ILM renders and appearances. So I'll be linking the dinosaur style guidebook, I think it's called, that I found these from down in the comment section, not the comment section, my description. Um, it's been a little while since I made a video, but yeah. So let's not waste any more time and let's have a look at these little dinosaur renders. So the first one's from the Jurassic Park line. So I'll link both the Jurassic World and the Jurassic Park, basically just the site that they're from, and you can go have a look at them yourself. Fantastic work, by the way. And looking at this Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus, and with the one in the game, it doesn't have that. I think it does have kind of a short tail like this one, but I can't recall. But apparently, in a size chart, the Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus is a bit larger than that of the Jurassic World Brachiosaurus. So I don't know if that would be applied to Evolution 2 or not, but that would be something interesting to look at. Next, we have a dinosaur that we don't have in the game, and that is the 1993 Parasaurolophus. So you can see this one is very different to the Parasaurolophus we currently have. So the Parasaurolophus we currently have is based off the Lost World Parasaurolophus and a little bit of the Jurassic World version. But as you can see here, this one is pretty much completely quadrupedal, although I could imagine it would be able to go back on its hind limbs. But you can see this is very different to the current Parasaurolophus, both the Dominion version and the regular Jurassic World Evolution 2 version. This would be a cool one to have just to better recreate that first film. And yeah, it is an interesting little para. We also have the Triceratops here. So we do have a 1993 Triceratops, but it's in fact brown. But for those who don't know, the actual animatronic was blue and was just covered in mud during production, just to sort of make it look a bit more realistic and such. But this blue this blue Triceratops skin would be great to have in the game, just as reference to that animatronic that was in the first film. The T-Rex, now, interesting situation with the T-Rex, because I find having a mix of the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park T-Rex as our base game T-Rex just a little bit weird, and just like our model. So, like maybe a Jurassic Park variant and a Jurassic World variant with different skull shapes and bodies, just to lean in more to those two different trilogies and their styles. So, I mean, an improvement to all the T-Rexes, as you'll see later with some of the others, would be very cool to see. Then we have the Dilophosaurus. Now, the actual Dilophosaurus from the film was completely animatronic, but yeah, we don't exactly have a nigh-on perfect Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus skin in the game. It's sort of, it almost looks like a faded version. Like this one's got very strong patterns here, but it wouldn't match with the frill in the game. So like getting specific skins for every dinosaur and not just having it like that. There you go. That's your pattern and skin to recreate this one. Like specific skins to help players better recreate the movies. Gallimimus in Jurassic Park is an interesting one, as this one has a few different versions. Now we have the one that has the white spots, and we have the regular Gallimimus that you see here, but we have a Jurassic World version. I mean, they're not too different, but this one doesn't have those darker hues that the Jurassic World one does. So maybe changing that a little bit and adding these two others. So this one has like some darker brown patches, and this one sort of a lighter brown. Like some more 1993 Gallimimus, I think would be a good step in the right direction. Moving on to the Lost World, a 1997 Compsognathus would be cool because this one, I don't think I've seen this pattern in the actual game, although I could just be looking past it, but I don't recall seeing those stripes on the tail, but I could be wrong. But as I was saying, like specific movie skins help better recreate those movies. And like you got a brown variant here as well from the Lost World, so that'd be interesting. And like changing the skull a little bit because I think the Lost World and Jurassic World Compsognathus, they have slightly different skull shapes. Although that, given how small the animal is, I don't think that's too necessary, but it would just be a nice little detail. And moving on to the most controversial dinosaur topic in Jurassic World Evolution 2, because, well, so many people have asked for it, but we haven't gotten it, and that's baby dinosaurs. So we've got almost every canonical species in the franchise, and yeah, there are babies in these films, so and we can't actually recreate the films completely without some of these younger dinosaurs. My solution to this would be like having a young variant. So having a variant for a Stegosaurus or the other babies that you'll see later that is just small and can adopt the same patterns and such of the adults. So that would be an interesting way of doing it. But hey, we'll see if Frontier is actually going to do it at some point. I would love to see that. Then we move on to Mamenchisaurus, a dinosaur that would technically have a variant, you could say, because this one has a much more horizontal posture compared with the vertical posture of the current Mamenchisaurus. Like this one holds its head out rather than just up, and the tail is much longer too. So getting a Lost World variant of the Mamenchisaurus would be cool, and it does have a different head as well. So just interesting little details that can make the Mamenchisaurus ever better. Got the baby T-Rex, so same as the Stego, maybe a variant, or they do work out how to do breeding. I don't know. But they don't have to do it for every dinosaur in the game. Like, that would be the dream, but I think sticking with canonical babies that we've seen in the franchise, so animals like Bumpy, the baby T-Rex here, the Stegosaurus, the Trikes, the Gallies, the Apatos, the baby Brachiosaurus Firecracker in Camp Cretaceous, um, baby Velociraptors, baby Pteranodons, you'll see those later. Just those sort of young dinosaurs that we've actually seen on screen, whether it be in a movie or in Camp Cretaceous. That could be the solution. I got a baby Triceratops here. Now, you didn't actually see this in the film, I don't think. Although I could have missed it. I don't know. I haven't watched Lost World in a little while, but I don't think I noticed a baby Triceratops. But this was in some old photos from either the set or some of the promotional um, stands for the movie, where you had the animatronics of the actual dinosaurs there, and you had a Triceratops there, I think, as well. But there could, I guess, be a in-gen Triceratops and a Masrani Triceratops baby variant. And speak of, so this is Triceratops saunaensis. So these are the Triceratopses that live on Isla Sorna, and you can see this one is brown, like the animatronic in the first film. But you can see it's much bigger and longer than that first Triceratops. And this would be true to the Jurassic Park 3 ones that we'll get to later. So having an Isla Sorna Triceratops variant, a regular in-gen Jurassic Park Triceratops variant, and a Jurassic World Masrani variant. That could be the way we could see every canonical version of the dinosaur in the actual game, and it would hey, help with recreations. So, um, moving on to the T-Rexes. So with the doe, it remained the same as Rexy in terms of the model for the Jurassic Park version. But when it comes to the buck, you can see he has a um, larger throat pouch, or like a more hanging throat, and he's a little bit bulkier than the female. So adding that little detail to the buck's skin would be pretty good, and maybe even the scars too. Um, Lost World Pteranodon here, so this gives you a better look at the head of that Pteranodon. So this is another animal that people have requested for a long time, a 1997 Pteranodon. Don't know if we'll ever get it, but it would be nice if we did, because it is canonical, you know. Moving on to Jurassic Park 3, here we have the Triceratops. So this is the female, and then as you go here, you can see there is the male down there with the white stripes on the back. So this would be just part of like that same Islasaurus Triceratops with maybe slightly different horns, but either way, it could still work just the same. Brachiosaurus in Jurassic Park 3. I mean, changing the eyes to that yellow that we saw in the film. Although I think it might actually have the yellow, but I think the Jurassic Park 3 Brachie just looks a little bit creepier. But we have a male version of the Brachiosaurus, and I think these faces on the side are indicating like variation in those patterns. And then up in the top right corner, you can see a female variant, which is just a plain green head. So who knows? Frontier could do it. Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. Now this one would be pretty good, as you can get the same head sculpt as well as the brighter colors of that Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. And as you can see towards the back of the spine, um, you can see that the scarring that it sustained from the plane when it clipped its sail when at the very start of the film. So that could be a little interesting detail to identify this as the 2001 Spinosaurus. Um, I've got the 2001 Raptor here, but we do already have this. But if you look in the bottom corner, you can see a new variant of the Velociraptor that I didn't see in the film, although it might have been there and I just didn't notice. But either way, that would actually be a very cool little nod to some outer lore in the Jurassic Park franchise. And the 2001 Parasaurolophus here with slightly different posture to both the Lost World and the 1993 Parasaurolophuses and the Jurassic World Paras. So changing the head to better match that 2001 look and making it, I guess, more bipedal than quadruped. That could work pretty well as a variant. Cretaceous as well. But this one wouldn't need a variant as we've got the Cretaceous accurate to the model. But when it comes to the colors seem dampened down compared with these bright colors that you can see here. It's not exactly iridescent as this is. So maybe like a brightening up of those Cretaceous colors, that can go a long way. Now we come to the baby Pteranodon hatchlings. So these are pretty cute until they try to kill you. But yeah, I don't know how these would work in the aviaries, but I'm sure a method of housing could work for these little guys. Like maybe a nest point. So like you can place some sea stacks or just some rock cliffs in your aviaries, and the pteranodons and other pterosaurs can just perch up there, and the pteranodon Islasaurus specifically would be able to create a nest and have these little babies in it. When it comes to 2001 Anki, yeah, so this one's a little bit flatter than the Jurassic World Ankylosaurus. So maybe toning it down a bit, bringing it lower to the ground in terms of its walking position. That would be pretty good to see. Just bringing it ever closer to its on-screen counterpart. And Ceratosaurus too, like we do have the Ceratosaurus in the game, but this one has a slightly larger horn than the one that we currently have, and a slightly more boxy head. Although I guess it wouldn't really require too much changing. Like we've got the green eyes, but maybe just a few more of those like ridged osteoderms on the back of its head. That could work. Um, Actually, don't know why I put the Ceratosaurus in here. Like the Ceratosaurus is pretty much perfect now, but like giving it that boxier head is probably a little bit better. Moving on to Jurassic World, we have the Jurassic World Packy. So the one we currently have in the game is based on the Lost World Packy, but this one is slightly lighter in build, and you barely saw it in the film, as it was tranquilized on a monitor screen. But yeah, so this Pachycephalosaurus would be a nice little variant to get, just to bring it more in line with how the Jurassic World animals are different to the Lost World and Jurassic Park versions. Indominus Rex. Now, Indominus Rex does have a fantastic look in Evolution 2, but the regular skin isn't quite as white as this. So maybe bring it much more silvery white, not like sparkling white that we had in the first game, but sort of finding the middle ground because the regular Indominus Rex is kind of sort of more green in some of its hues. Like bring it more like this, just clean slate of silver, pretty much. But hey, we'll see what happens. Here's the baby Triceratops that appears in Jurassic World films. Yeah, so Masrani variant. A Parasaurolophus baby was seen in the film, just in the background. Same with this little Stego. They were both in the background compared with all the other babies that you saw up close, like the Gallimimus and the Apatosaurus. All could work well in a little petting zoo. Now we get to Jurassic World T-Rex. So changing the head sculpt, just to bring it in line with the Jurassic World T-Rex, would be good to differentiate both the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World versions of the animal, giving us two different variants so that they can be appropriate for two different eras. So it would just better it would help us better differentiate the Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion, by giving us a Jurassic Park T-Rex and a Jurassic World T-Rex, and just a Rexy skin as well from 2015. The Mosasaurus. Now this one I've wanted to change for a little while. Now, not in terms of the size, like the size is fine, but more on the lines of why the hell do we not have just a blue Mosasaurus? Like, it's very grey right now, and those weird red osteoderms on the back. Like, I'm not trying to make this into a rant, but it always sort of annoys me when I see just the Mosasaurus in my lagoon, but it's not blue as the one in the movie. So, I don't know, but getting a 2015/2018/2022 skin for the Mosasaurus, as it's pretty much universal, if you pardon the pun. Um, so, yeah, a blue Mosasaurus skin, I would really appreciate it to just make it the Jurassic World Mosa. Jurassic World Galley is pretty much good, but maybe some changes in terms of a little bit of the pattern and skin tones, but hey, I might have just put this in for no reason. Now, when it comes to the para, so you can see a few differences that you can make between the para that we have in the game, is that this one has two humps on its back. So one above the shoulders and one above the hips. So that would be a good change to make and just like bring it more in line with that Jurassic World Parasaurolophus look. And I've got another one with Fallen Kingdom, as I mean you barely saw the para in Fallen Kingdom, but it has this same model. When it comes to the Apatosaurus, just making it thinner. As the one we have right now holds itself quite low to the ground and doesn't really seem like it should be walking. Like it is a bit fat, I will say. Bit chubby. Like bring it more slim and thinner like the Jurassic World Apatosaurus. That would be a pretty good step in the right direction. When it comes to Jurassic World Stegosaurus, now the one we have currently in Evolution 2 is somewhat based on Dominion, because the Stegosaurus in Dominion does hold its tail higher. And this one is just a Jurassic World stego. It holds its tail low. We were originally going to get this in the first evolution, but I think they changed it as the game was coming out and people hadn't gotten to Stegosaurus just yet. So, yeah, like giving us a Jurassic World version and a probably a Dominion version. Like, you can keep the regular versions of the dinosaurs that we currently have. So the regular versions, they can stay, but like giving separate variants to recreate the animals a little bit better, and bring them just that little bit closer to their on-screen counterparts, I think would do really well. Like, you can have the regular Stegosaurus, that can be just like null variants, but then you can have Jurassic Park 3 not Jurassic Park 3, Little Sauna variants. You have Jurassic World variants, Jurassic World / Fallen Kingdom variants, and then you have Dominion variant, which would just work the same. They would have their respective skins, of course, but yeah. I mean, this does resemble the old Stegosaurus that we used to know, holding his tail low, having this hunched back sort of. But I would like to recreate my Jurassic Worlds pretty much nigh on perfect. When it comes to Triceratops, the one we currently have is a bit too green. Like this is a video full of nitpicks, but if we were to get a Jurassic World Triceratops variant, it would have to have this skin. So the one in the movie is not just plain green. It has these browns, it has these blues, and a few bits of orange even on the frill. You can't really quite see that now, but when you've watched Jurassic World and you get that close-up shot of the gyrosphere between the Triceratops and the Apatosaurus in that sequence, you can see, if you look very closely, that the Triceratops does have this blue around the face and the orange on the frill. Just little details can bring it just that little bit closer. And the skin stays the same for not Evolution, for Fallen Kingdom and Dominion as well. So, yeah. And Kylosaurus's Jurassic World version, we do have. So I actually don't know why I put this here, but maybe just getting a 2015 and a 2018 skin. As the two are a little bit different, like the one in 2015 was a bit more green, and then the one in 2018 had this darker blue hue to it. Jurassic World Pteranodon, there are a lot of skins. So you have the regular one up in the top left, then a Fallen Kingdom-esque Pteranodon down there, and these other Pteranodons that you could sort of make out in the scenes. Like I noticed the blue head one, and this blue one I think I did notice, but like having these different Jurassic World Pteranodon skins would be cool. When it comes to Dimorphodon, however, having a proper Jurassic World Dimorphodon would be good, like the yellow eyes and the fuzzy back and head. Yeah, just bring it much closer to the Dimorphodon that we see in the film. Like the one we have currently is completely naked of its pycnofibers. So yeah, we did get a sort of furry Dimorphodon in the Dominion Malta expansion, but that one is very small compared to this one. So maybe getting an adult version would be good. Now moving on to Fallen Kingdom, we have the baby Velociraptors. I wasn't going to use the baby Velociraptor from Jurassic Park because that one had literally just hatched and was quite frail. This one is a bit more, yeah, a bit better, and like you could bring it closer to Beta even for all the different Velociraptor skins. Like Beta is sort of a more mature version of this. Like she's a little bit older than these little Velociraptors, so it would be a little bit different. Compy, you can see here the Jurassic World Compy is very different to the Lost World one. Like it's got these larger, darker stripes that you can see along the back of the head, down the neck, down the back, along the legs, and back along the tail. So there's some slight differences. Now we get to the Jurassic World Brachiosaurus. Now we do kind of have it, though it is sort of more Jurassic Park, but having a proper Fallen Kingdom Brachiosaurus skin would be really good. As like like you got the creamy underbelly and down the neck, and you got the darker grey on the top, and those blue hues that you notice around the head. And this one, baryonyx. So the regular baryonyx we currently have is a bit dark. It's not like this brighter blue that you can see on the back of the Fallen Kingdom baryonyx. So if we were to get a 2018 skin of the baryonyx, I would really love that. Like, it would look so good. And another creature that I would like to see sort of a little bit chonkified and give it a bit a different head sculpt is Carnotaurus. So the one we have in the game currently is very slim, you could say. But this one is very refined and strong looking. Like, it's got good muscle coverage and slightly bigger legs. They're not so skeletal. And it's also got slightly smaller horns than the one we have in Evolution, and a bit of a wider head as well. So if Frontier were to take another look at the Carnotaurus and bring it so much closer, I would really love that. Carnotaurus has been my second favorite dinosaur for a long time, and I just want to see it brought to perfection in Evolution 2. As I think it is one of the best looking dinosaurs in the franchise, even though you see very little of it in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. But I just want a good Carnotaurus, please. And Allosaurus, my all-time favorite dinosaur. We did get the Dominion / Battle of Big Rock version that should be made into a variant, as it is that very different to the one we currently have. And another one that should be a variant is this somewhat teenager Allosaurus. So it's not quite juvenile. That one is seen in the Dominion, in Jurassic World Dominion in Malta, fighting a young Baryonyx that we'll see later. But this one from Fallen Kingdom is a little bit bigger, around the same size as the one we currently have in the game, but bring it more in line with that. The look of this Allosaurus would be really good for a variant, just so we can properly recreate Fallen Kingdom. And yeah, you can see a few more of those details there. Is the Fallen Kingdom Parasaurolophus, as you can see, the two humps and just a different coloration. But like that Jurassic World one, just a Jurassic World Parasaurolophus variant. And a few more. Okay, I think we're moving on to Dominion now. Yeah, we are. So these are the skins of the Pteranodon that showed up in both the actual Dominion movie, but also in the prologue. So these different Pteranodons that you can see, apart from the regular redhead Pteranodon, these ones were seen in the prologue in the late Cretaceous sequence. And here we go, the male Nasutoceratops. Now, this one is very different to the female. As you can see, it's got a sharper ridge on its nose and much longer horns and a bigger frill. So that would be good to see, as the male Nasutoceratops is one of the better looking ceratopsians, I think, in the franchise. And speaking of the female, so this is the regular Nasutoceratops we currently have, but maybe given the male variant and the female variant, the sort of Dominion skin, that would be very good to see. And of course, you have the baby Nasutoceratops. So yeah, that would be another cool little baby to see. More on the prologue, we have a prologue Giganotosaurus variant. So the one in the movie that you see is a much more greener is a much greener color. So it has darker stripes and yeah, it's just overall pretty green. But this one is more gray and black in some of its coloration. I think it would look really good. And having it as like the symbolic Giganotosaurus model, as this one is clean of scars, like you see no scars on this one, like you do with the movie skin, and that have been carried over to the variant as well, like the regular Giganotosaurus variant. So yeah, I just want to see like a proper Giganotosaurus model, refined, clean of scars, and adding this prologue skin. And here we have the baby Baryonyx, which was blind in one eye and had a prosthetic limb. So that's likely sustained from one of its fights. But I think this guy would be pretty cool to see as like a skin, or yeah, just pretty much a skin for the juvenile Baryonyx that we could potentially get. There was also a young Carnotaurus in the film as well. And yeah, there was a little baby Allosaurus as well. But here we go. So this is the last of the movie dinosaurs that we do not have in the game. Microceratus. Though it is only seen as a puppet in the film, it still is a canonical species and is, fun fact, Colin Trevorrow, the director of Dominion and Jurassic World's favorite dinosaur. So, getting Microceratus in the game has been the wish of so many people since its exclusion from the Malta expansion, and some people even think that we're going to get it for the anniversary of Evolution 2 this year. But I mean, I have my doubts, but it would be fantastic if we did, as it has this beautiful blue skin and also another redder yellow skin that's based on its website version, and this other green and blue skin that was also seen in the film. So having these three skins as well as a regular Microceratus, that would be very cool and a good new dinosaur to see. Therizinosaurus I only put here because I would like to see a Dominion, another Dominion skin, which would be like the regular Therizinosaurus that you see in the film, but with its blind eyes. Like that could be worked into a probably a genetic defect feature that they could potentially add later on. I recall I've suggested such a thing on the forums before, and like even giving it the broken claw that it sustained from the Giganotosaurus at the end of Dominion, just to make it a more unique Therizinosaurus in your park. And the last T-Rexes that we have, and the last dinosaurs in this video, this is the buck T-Rex that you see at the very end of Dominion, walking up to Rexy with the doe. And yeah, having these two part of the Jurassic World variant would be very cool. Like this doe T-Rex skin would work very well as just like a basal T-Rex model, clean of scars and everything like that. As Rexy and the doe do share very similar appearances. So yeah, it would be very cool to see. But I think I've been rambling on for a long while now. Like we're half an hour in now. I've just been babbling on. But if you want to see any of these skins or variants added to Jurassic World Evolution 2, do leave a like, subscribe for more, and I will be linking Paleo Publications in the description down below. So yeah, you can go check them out. And yeah, well, at least go check out the books. Like, yeah. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye bye.